Morning, everyone. This one's going to be a lesson for everybody, but you're going to fall into two groups of people. One, people who are savvy about economics and, how else do I put it, not insultingly, have your head out of your ass. And then another group of people who are going to be genuine victims of a purposeful political plot plan, I wouldn't call it conspiracy. You're just going to be victims because of your naivete and ignorance about basic finance and economics. Right? We're going to talk about Barack Obama's, and I want to make sure his name is attached to it because it's his idea, MyRA. See, it's instead of an IRA, independent or individual retirement account, it's going to be my retirement account. See? Huh? Is that cute? He put my, huh? Get it? Get it? The pun, it's like your, but me speaking to you, it's MyRA. Oh, that witty guy. Sorry, it's no curse week for me today. Now, I have an article up here from CNN, and I'm going to dissect the MyRA because I'm not joking. I've never seen anything this flagrantly worthless and even manipulative. This isn't an opinion. This has nothing to do with my politics. This has nothing to do with Barack Obama, the president, but it does have to do with his politics. This has to do with, they're serving you poison. And it's not like it's dashed in with a nice looking souffle. It's a bottle of poison, labeled poison. And you people, so a lot of you out there, well, obviously, because CNN, who's the idiot broad that wrote this? Melanie Hicken. I don't know her. I don't care about her. She's probably nobody. Never heard of her. She's probably a 23-year-old journalism major that CNN, the big, mainstream media decided to hire. She obviously believes that she wrote about it. Half you people, oh, look, MyRA! Yay! Ah! It's poison. It's bad for you. So let me explain. Okay. I'm going to read from the article. In the State of the Union address, President Obama created plans for MyRA, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. Who can open a MyRA? Okay. The accounts are targeted at the millions of low and middle income Americans who don't have access to employer-sponsored health retirement plans. Hold it right there. Who don't have access to employer-sponsored retirement programs. All right. Now, what they're talking about there is if you have a job, an employer, they will usually give you some kind of retirement plan like a 401k, a 403b, a 457, and some of them, though fewer of them, a pension. Okay, and that's good. That's wonderful that they offer it, but not all employers offer it. Sometimes they don't have the money. They're not as big. And you know what? Screw you. They don't want to offer it. They want to keep the money themselves. Evil capitalist people. So what are you supposed to do? Are you screwed? No, you're not. You want to why? Because this thing called an IRA, the individual retirement account. And there's others. There's code plans. There's simple IRAs. There's a lot of them out there. You don't have to have an employer that gives you an employer-sponsored plan to be able to invest in some kind of retirement plan program. Okay? Besides, you can invest anytime you want. What they're talking about is like with IRAs, 401ks, all these abbreviations, all these acronyms. You get some kind of tax benefit when you invest in them. So that's what we're talking there. So this isn't like you can't save for retirement. Open up a brokerage account at your local, Charles Schwab or Edward Jones. You can go do that at any time. They're talking about getting the deduction. And right now, right off the bat, they're implying that if you don't have an employer-sponsored retirement plan, there's nothing you can do. Actually, you can. It's called the IRA. You just set it up. So far, the MyRA and the IRA are no different. Something that already exists covers all people if you have, if you want to contribute to a retirement plan. So we got that there. The White House says it will aggressively encourage employers to offer the program. Right there, there's another problem. Why would the employers offer a program that does not differ from the IRA? See, the IRA is separate. You go to a bank, you go to a brokerage, you set that up. The White House is now going to tell employers to set up MyRA accounts. Why would they? It's going to take time and money. They're going to have to lower your wages or jack up prices, which is going to lose competition in the market. So they don't want to dick around with this. All right? So already, and really, this is an observation. It's not an opinion. It's an observation. This president has no experience in the private sector. He has no experience how businesses work. He doesn't. And if you don't believe me, look up his background. He has never worked in the private sector, bar 1 year. He's always been public sector government. He doesn't know how the real world works. And it's obvious right here. Scrolling down. Blah, blah, blah. How will the account work? The account will function as a Roth IRA. Duh! Which allows savers to invest after-tax dollars and withdraw the money in retirement tax-free. Okay, that's good. But it's just like the Roth IRA. Nobody's stopping you from getting it. It already exists. It already exists. But unlike traditional Roth IRAs, the accounts will solely invest in government savings bonds. Aha. And here's where the poison is. Okay? They make it sound... Now, let me read it. They will also be backed by the U.S. government, meaning that savers can never lose their principal investment. Oh, good. Okay, good. So there's the sale. There's the sales pitch. That's see, I'm not going to lose my money. I won't lose my money because it's government bonds. See? Safe. Number one, it's not a benefit that you can only invest in government bonds. That's not an advantage. It's like going to a restaurant and you have all this menu and then Barack Obama says, yeah, but you can only have eggs. No, you can't have steak. You can't have chorizo. You can't have calamari. You can't have the burger. No, you get eggs. Only eggs. Don't you think that's kind of odd that they would only allow you to invest in government bonds? Well, here's why it's poison, kids. The government right now, this is where you got to study this, because if you don't have this wisdom, they're going to take advantage of you with this stuff. The government doesn't have enough money to pay for all of the programs it's promised to people. That's why it runs a deficit. And historically, we finance the deficit by borrowing. Borrowing from who? Well, borrowing from other people. The government borrows. It's no different than an individual. If an individual spends more money than it makes, they got to borrow it from somebody. So the government will borrow it from people. When you invest in a government savings bond, that's you lending the government money. Of course, people have kind of eschewed the government U.S. Treasury bonds, and now they go to foreign countries. So China and Japan and the Arab countries, those have been rather large lenders to the federal government. Well, they've stopped. Now where's the government get the money? Well, thank God we got the Federal Reserve, because the Federal Reserve could print off money, and all these QE3, QE4, QE5, I know my group of people listen to it. All of you watch Kim Kardashian and the stupid shows, and what's Perry Kate doing? I know you idiots are unaware of the Fed. It's very boring stuff. I know it's very boring, but then all you're wondering why don't you have jobs, and why are you working as a barista? Why didn't anyone tell me about my student loans? Yeah, maybe if you study the Federal Reserve, you'd understand this. I know it sounds not connected, but it is. So, the Federal Reserve is printing off money and buying U.S. government bonds. Now, the problem is that's going to cause inflation. We can hide it and stash it away in the banking system. We can increase bank deposits. This is for my side of people. But inevitably, that money will bleed out into circulation and into the economy and cause price increases. So the government is looking for other ways to get more money, to borrow more money. Well, looky here, kids. The MyRA. Hey, dumb, ignorant, uneducated, lower-class people. Hey, are those evil, nasty, big, mean corporations not giving you a retirement plan? Well, here's the MyRA. And you're just being used to lend more money to the government. That's all it is. If Obama really wanted you to have an option, he would say, look, you can invest in anything you want, but then it wouldn't be any different from a Roth IRA. And he said, well, maybe you do some research. I know, doing research on the internet is not as fun as texting 8 hours a day. I know, it's not as fun as Facebooking. But you do the research, and you'd say, well, wait a minute, I can invest in anything I want, just like the Roth IRA. What's the difference between the MyRA and there is no difference. That's my whole point. A superior product already exists. And if you go with this MyRA, you're merely lending the government money. And the government is not a good borrower right now. I know you'd have to look up the federal budget and deficit. That's boring, man. Like, you just want to go talk about cisgendered white privilege studies, right? You want to do your protest? Oh, you ignorant people. But unlike Jeff backed up, workers will be able to keep the accounts when they switch jobs or contribute the same account for multiple part-time jobs, just like a Roth IRA. They will also be able to withdraw their contributions anytime without penalty, just like a Roth IRA. However, anyone who withdraws the interest they earn before the age of 59 and a half will get hit with taxes and a possible penalty, just like the Roth IRA. Now, I didn't even say it says just like the Roth IRA right there. Another plus. Oh, I can't wait to see what this different plus is going to be. While private retirement accounts of any size can come with a host of administrative expenses, the MyRAs will be free of any fees. Oh, BS. All right, your fees, I mean, unless you get a really bad retirement account, they're going to have to charge you fees. I know you all think there's this thing called free. There really isn't, because it costs money. The MyRAs will come at a cost. If your employer, if they have to sponsor it, I don't know why they'd sponsor it, because it doesn't sound like the government's going to offer it. Or the companies of financial planning firms that author Roth IRAs, they're going to charge you fees anyway for it. So there's not that advantage. I should look up the gal who writes about this, see if she's even educated in finance. Oh, let me see. How much can you invest? As much as Roth IRA. What kind of returns can I expect? Hang on, kids. You want to see what kind of rates of return you get from your government treasuries? Ooh, giggity. While the accounts will offer a safe place for many first-time retirement savers to put their money, they shouldn't expect big returns. The White House said accounts will earn the same rate as Thrift Saving Plan's Government Securities Investment Fund that it offers federal workers. That fund earned around 1.5% in 2012. That didn't beat inflation. You're losing money. And had an average annual return of 3.6% between 2003 and 2012. With an average 2% interest rate, for example, a worker contributing $100 a month could accumulate, ooh, get ready, kids, $6,300 in savings after 5 years, including around $300 in interest. How are there not lines for this? Oh, and it goes on. Look, if you're poor, and I remember being poor, I know I make fun of $100 a month. That actually that's important, especially if you're poor. That $100 is very important. $6,300 can be the difference between a very good year and a bad year. I know. But you cannot. You have to realize what a scam this is. It is nothing more than the government. And your buddy, Barry, Barack Obama, who loves the poor and the disadvantaged, he doesn't care. Don't you get it? He doesn't care about you. He's looking at you for your naivete and your ignorance about finance and government budgeting, so that you invest in this presumably safe account only as a means to borrow more money. Because the smart money is no longer lending money to the federal government. You think, well, the government can't go bankrupt. Yes, it can. It can. Governments do all the time. Look at Argentina like every 10 years. Look at Russia in 1998. And you're going to have the United States go bankrupt. Well, actually, in our history, we have gone bankrupt. The federal government has gone bankrupt. And all those paper notes that they had are worthless. And the only reason I'm bringing this up, not because I really don't care much about the poorer classes. I really don't. You vote leftists all the time. You're ignorant. You're uneducated. I don't care. You're not disadvantaged. You made stupid decisions, stupid mistakes, and that's why you're poor. Primarily, there's some people that were genuine victims. I got that. As the rest of my little people over here, they got to work extra to pay for your mistakes. But for once, we have something where Obama and the left are actually showing their true colors. And not only they're not going to screw over us because we're too smart for this. They're going to screw over you. Because you actually believe these people. You actually think that they care about you. And this is one of the most blatant, obvious, bad things, screw you over instances that is not even disguised, that I think I can explain to you if you're quiet and you are open-minded enough to listen, to show you why it's a bad idea. And now you have to personally resolve with yourself whether or not Barack Obama is what you thought he was, and the Democrats and the left are what they thought they. He just cares. He just cares. Look, 1.5% interest. He cares about me. He doesn't care about you. Honestly, even me as an evil, hate-filled libertarian Republican who doesn't like you, who laughs and enjoys daily watching poorer people suffer because they had kids they couldn't afford, saying, well, I got to pay them WIC and TAMF and food stamps, but at least I get to watch them suffer. That's me. That's how much of a bad, mean guy I am. Even I couldn't do this to you because it's wrong. You shoot yourself in the foot and it costs me money along the way. You damn right I'm going to laugh at you limp. But I'm not going to purposely hurt you. Good Lord, this is stupid. So for all the, I can't even say poor, all the ignorant people out there who are thinking this MyRA thing is a good deal, don't. Whether you're my enemy or my friend, whether you're generally indifferent, whether you don't like my tone or my demeanor, Just do yourself one favor. How about you not shoot yourself in the foot a third time? I mean, what did you do? You had a kid that you couldn't afford, and then you got divorced, and then you're going to go major in some stupid liberal arts degree, and then you're up in student debt, you're poor, you don't have a job. Okay, let's not make it worse by investing in this thing, all right? Can I help you? You did what the left told you. You did what Barack Obama told you. You had kids, don't worry about government to take care of you. Then you majored, followed how your money would follow. I'm telling you, and how'd that work out? Those two things work out for you? Huh? Is that working out good? Oh, so you followed the left's advice and now you're screwed. You're in the shithole or crap hole that you are now. Well, follow asshole advice. Follow my advice. Right? Don't do this. It's not going to ruin you, but good Lord, it certainly isn't worth your time. That's all we got. Toodles.